welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. It's gonna be a bit of a short stream here because I don't have much time, but alright, we've got quite a bit of news. Finally, Man City has brought us content. All I had to do is ask. All I had to do is ask nicely, and they've given us content at last. So let me get through chat here quickly. Yeah, like and subscribe as always. Hello, big up to him. Tony Madueke to Arsenal officially. I'll talk about that later. I'll do the Man City news first. This guy to Antwerp. Hello, Rosa. Hello. How are you? How is everyone in here? And before we get to the news, I've got something to show you guys. Let me zoom in on that because you might not be able to read that well. They got very offended. Shocking. It's absolutely shocking how easily some fan bases can get rattled in it. Anyhow, forget that. Let's start off with the first story for today, and that's Perrone. Now, Perrone was originally supposed to be sold for what was it? It was 30 million pounds, right? 30 million pounds. That was what he was supposed to be sold for 30 million euros, whatever. So he's been sold for half that price, of course. All of City fans think it's a bad deal, and I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. But it's a huge sell-on clause here that's been included. So let's say Perrone gets sold on for 60 million euros. I mean, now a third of 60 million, that's about 20 million. You would have 35 million euros if he's being sold for that price. So, and 60 million euros in today's market, I think it's quite reasonable now. So, we're not selling him for a lot, but it's a big buy or sell-on clause in there, and a decent buyback clause, I'd imagine. A buyback option. So now I'm not sure what the money is. I'm not sure how much this buyback option is. It doesn't mention it anywhere that I've seen so far. But I don't know. I'm indifferent. If this guy ends up being sold for 60 million, 70 million, we'll have more money than if we just sold him for 30 million, right? Because of that sell-on clause. So it's a big sell-on clause, but I don't know. Is he gonna be sold for that type of money? I don't think so, to be honest. Anyhow, on to news that I can talk about a bit more confidently. Jack Grealish has agreed to return to Man City this week to train individually, at least until the main group return on July 28th, as he waits on a move away from the club. So to wait is its worded makes it sound like we're just trying to get him to jog on. He's trying to be on his best behavior to get people interested in him. But Jack Grealish, he has to go in my opinion. He has to go. He absolutely has to go. But I feel like he might stay because of homegrown, and we'll struggle to sell him. I feel like that might be the problem, but he has to go. But we need to accept a low salary for or a low fee for him. The problem with Jack is we're not seeing any links to high-paying clubs like Galatasaray, who like to pay big wages. We're not seeing links to even Man United. Well, Man United probably will never come in for him, but like an Aston Villa or one of these smaller clubs who like to pay big wages, Newcastle. We're not even seeing those types of links. There were Newcastle links for a while, but they went absolutely nowhere. We're not seeing any links to Saudi. There was one link, but it died down as quickly as it came to be. So I don't think we're going to sell him to a Saudi club. If he leaves, I am convinced he joins an English club. But it has to be an English club that pays the money Man City want him to get paid, which is going to be at least 30 million pounds, because otherwise it's a loss on PSR. So we're going to ask at least 30 million pounds. and Jack Grealish is gonna ask a certain salary. You can count on one hand the amount of clubs in the Premier League that can do that. Spurs, not one of them. Spurs don't pay big wages. Spurs is out already. Who pays big wages? Man City, but we're selling him, not buying him. So you can't include us either. First club that you can include for Jack Grealish is Liverpool. Think 5 seconds and tell me if you think that's gonna happen. So once you've concluded no, the next club is Arsenal. Now Arsenal may do that because it's Arsenal and they do weird stuff. But I don't believe they will. They've already bought Madueke, and I don't think they'll buy another scrub. One scrub a window is enough for them. So then there's Chelsea. Chelsea pay big wages, pay big fees. But are they going in for Grealish? No, because they only pay those big wages and big fees for the young players. Epstein FC, you know. Then Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle, they need homegrown players. Okay, need homegrown. That's one. They need they need a winger, a backup winger at least, and they like to pay big wages and big fees. But Newcastle isn't interested in him, not linked to him, and there was a link for a while there that they wanted Grealish on loan, but they don't want to buy him. Why don't they want to buy him? They probably don't value him enough to buy him. They probably want Grealish as a once season, get me out of jail card for homegrown, and then jog on. That's the only 4 clubs, excluding Man City, who pay both big fees and big wages for the players in the Premier League. So where is Grealish going? Nowhere. Is he now? He's going nowhere. Which is quite tragic, actually, but oh well. We may be stuck with him for a while. Good. What about you? I'm doing good as well. Thank you for asking. Man United agreed a deal for Mbeumo. Yeah. Yes, here we go. Fuck United. Did you see the news about Mayer? I didn't. He's staying for now. Crystal Palace are cheats. What is this question? Crystal Palace, we know what you are. You know what you are, bruv. Dirty cheating bastards. We know what you are. Anyhow, what the fuck is this question? I'll take an injured Foden over Carlos Ford. Anyhow, on to some Galatasaray news. Galatasaray, single-handedly, one man, one team, army over here, trying to carry out rebuild. Let's translate this quickly. Now, how reliable is this source? Not very reliable, I'll be honest. But this is a summation of everything that's happened so far. Akanji has been linked to Galatasaray, EDERSON, and Gundogan. 3 players we need to get rid of. Galatasaray is making it happen, bro. Galatasaray is trying to give us life. Galatasaray saw us, and this is what you talk about with, excuse the background noise if you can hear that. This is what you talk about when you talk about, what's the word? Being giving. What's the word? Charitable. This is what charitable looks like. They see Man City struggling. They see Man City absolutely fucked up by our own terrible decision making as a club. And they have decided, yeah, let's go in for some of their players. Now, I know for a fact that this is fake news, though. Why do I know that this is fake news? Because better sources have linked these same players, but given a different story. So let's see what story here is with Akanji. Galatasaray have made an inquiry concerning Akanji's salary demands and are prepared to make an offer if the player accepts a reduction on wages, according to Turkish reports. So the previous source reported that they're going in for Akanji, Gundo, and Ederson in one package deal. That's clearly fake. I mean, this is a much better source here. City Extra. You want City football news, transfers mainly, go to City Extra. They will very rarely get something wrong. So, and when they do get something wrong, by the way, they are the first to correct themselves. They always correct themselves if they get something wrong. So if you're a City fan, use City Extra for football news, yeah? Or Man City news, at least. So Galatasaray is only going in for him if he accepts a wage deduction. If he's willing to do that, I don't know. Well, how severe are we talking about here, wage deduction? Are we talking 10k a week? Are we talking 50k a week? How severe is the wage reduction that we're talking about here? But you know what? If Pep Guardiola puts his foot down and tells Akanji, you will not play, you will be on the bench, I will play John Stones ahead of you, I will play Gustinov ahead of you, I will play Victor Hayes ahead of you, I will play Matheus Nunes ahead of you, I will play Rico Lewis ahead of you. If he goes and tell Akanji this in a World Cup season, he may be very quick to accept that wage reduction. You got to force these players into making these decisions. Listen, Akanji, thank you for your years of service. You've been very good. You've been very good for us. But you're not good anymore. You used to be good, now you're not. So this is a player you need to force out. If Galatasaray is willing to come in and pay or reduce wages to this guy, force him to accept that. It's World Cup season. It's the easiest time to get rid of players. You just tell them you're not going to play a single game this year unless you leave. And then you stick by it. And that way, they will accept those reduced wages. That's the only way you get them to accept that. So these players, you gotta force them out. Respect Akanji for everything he's done, but he's got to go. Anyhow, on to the big news. On to the big one. Jesus Christ, Lord. Shall I read this one out? This is what Polish people felt like at the end of World War II. Freedom at last. Jesus Christ, bro. Bro. How long have you been live? We have been live for less than 20 minutes and you're putting that shit in. Christ, bro. I had C Union played in Newcastle Kids. I'm not sure who you're talking about there. Pep, which goalkeeper City gonna sign? I don't know. I don't know who Man City will sign if Ederson leaves. My guess is Costa. If I look at statistics, I've not watched any of these goalkeepers. But if I look at the statistics, Costa seems like the goalkeeper most similar to Ederson. So that will be my guess. But personally, I would honestly prefer a goalkeeper like Donnarumma or Chevalier. Donnarumma still has not resigned, by the way. So is he leaving? Is he staying? Contradicting news there with Donnarumma. He's telling everyone he's staying, but not committing to a contract. So, Pep Guardiola has said that he likes Donnarumma. So I know people say, oh, but he'll never get a goalkeeper who's bad with his feet. But Pep likes Donnarumma, so maybe he will. But I think Diogo Costa is the most likely. Chevalier is he an option? There was one link to him 2-3 months ago now, I believe. Oh, it can't be that long. About 2 months, I believe, since that link. And there's been nothing since. A lot of ITK accounts talking about it, but no real sources talking about Chevalier. So Trafford news is picking up now, and Trafford news picks up at the same time that Ederson news picks up. So maybe it's Trafford. Maybe, because Trafford was supposed to join Newcastle, wasn't he? And that news died down, and Trafford to Man City news started again, all at the same time while EDERSON to Galatasaray news kicked off, so maybe it's Trafford. Also, not a goalkeeper I've seen. But what I do know is he was in the Man City Academy. So, if this is a guy who's in our academy, you know. But anyhow, let me read this out first. There is now a line of reporting in Turkey suggesting that an agreement is in place for EDERSON to leave Man City for Galatasaray. So, interesting way of wording that. They're not saying it's actually happened. They're not saying that this is actually happening. They're just saying people in Turkey are reporting it. So that's a very non-committal way of bringing this news. So City Extra must not be very confident and truth of this news. We can't sell Eddie. Yes, we can. We absolutely can. He's not good. I know City fans want to do this play that seating. He's not good. You put him up against Alisson. Brazil fans literally call EDERSON shit. The Brazil fans would rather play their third choice goalkeeper over EDERSON. I know that because I talk to Brazilians. Big up to Adam in my channel here. Big up to Jay as well, who's not been here for a while actually. But I talk to Brazilians. Go to the people who support a country who don't support a Premier League club. So Brazilians who don't support a Premier League club. Ask their opinion about EDERSON. They'll laugh at you if you say he's a world-class goalkeeper. He's not the quality Man City needs. I'm sorry, one day Pep Guardiola will leave. Whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in 20 years from now, he will leave. And when Pep leaves, we need to have a goalkeeper that anyone else than Pep will be able to use. Because nobody likes this style of play it out from the back goalkeepers other than Pep. Nobody does this anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. We're seeing a reversion back to goalkeepers who are just shot stoppers. Akanji Swash. Sadly, I agree. My prediction for the Super Cup, which is this Sunday, is 2-0 to Brugge. Breaking, Trafford. Oh, of course I will. Let me see here. Let me see. What's breaking? Big up to Liam, by the way. What's his name? Fabrizio. Let's see what's breaking news here. Oh, there you go. There you go. Big up to Liam for informing me of this news. When's this gone up? Literally as I was live. This went up as I was live streaming. Well, that gives some credibility to this, doesn't it? That gives some credibility. And in fact, if we go over to this, which I wanted to talk about in a minute, a bid for 3 million euros. Yeah, I'll take it. Listen, it's not about the money. It's about getting him out. It's not about the money we receive, it's about the money we save by selling him. Because if we keep him, we have to pay his wages for a year, he's gonna be shit for a year, and he's gonna leave on a free. Like, that's the truth. He's not signing a contract, we pay him wages, and he leaves on zero. We don't get any money. So not only do we save 10 million, I believe, in wages. Let's see. Man City wages. Let's see how many wages this guy has in a year. EDERSON. We save 5 million pounds in wages. We get 3 million pounds, or euros, sorry, in a transfer fee. Has 8 million pounds, give or take. 8 million pounds that you have more than if you keep him for the season and he leaves on a free. Because he's not signing a new contract, it ain't happening. So, 3 million, yeah. I think some people are like, oh, it's disrespectful. No, it isn't. We have completely fucked up our own financial situation, our contract situation, should I say, with EDERSON. Our situation with our clubs cleared out. If it was 1 or 2 players who we needed to clear it out, we could say no. But we need to clear out multiple players. This is not disrespectful. Galatasaray knows that they are in the stronger position to trade here. They can go to us and say 3 million. Who else is gonna come in for EDERSON, pay him the wages he wants, and is gonna offer more than 3 million? No one. They're gonna take the piss. This is what happens when you hold on to players for too long. You don't get money for them. Nobody cares how good they are or used to be. Everyone cares that they're not good enough for you anymore. That is why you sell players when they're still good enough for you. That is why you sell players at 1 season before they become washed. Because when you do that, when you can do that, like Real Madrid does, people will pay big money for them, will pay the wages, and you'll be able to get rid of them. And if they don't pay you the money, you still have them for the season, and they are still at that level. That's why you need to sell Bernardo Silva 1 season before he's washed. I wanted him to go away, to be sold after the 4th beat, basically. Summer of 2024, I wanted him to leave. And that's why you do it. You can still get money for them when that happens. When they reach the point where everybody knows they are no longer good enough for you, that's when people don't pay. This is not disrespectful. It will be laughable of Man City to demand 15 million, 10 million. Galatasaray will look at us and say, well, who's gonna buy him if it's not us? Nobody. Nobody wants him. His wages are too much. We want to pay his wages, but we're not paying big money. So, you're stuck. Either you lose £5 million on wages and £3 million in a transfer fee, or you can all save that. This is not disrespectful. I think a lot of people are pissed off about this. I will take it. I will absolutely take this. Yes, I wanted this guy. I saw him last season quite a bit. He's mint. He's been in our academy. Exactly. I want to come back to Trafford. I wanted to talk about Ederson leaving first. But let's talk about Trafford now. So, Man City are considering Trafford. He's only if one of their main 2 goalkeepers leave, which hopefully it happens. This guy has been at our academy. Pep knows him. Pep knows how he plays. Trafford wants to start. Some people tell me he's shit. Some people tell me he's the best thing since Thibaut Courtois. I don't know what he is. I haven't watched him. But I'll tell you what he is here. He is not old. He's not old. He's not bad at shot stopping. Not as bad as Ederson, at least. I can't imagine that. He's English, homegrown. That helps. Especially, let me open my spreadsheet again. 1 second. Because I need people to understand this, yeah? People don't want to talk about homegrown. Oh, it's boring. It is boring, to be fair. But you got to talk about it. Because you got to get these homegrown spots sorted. If you don't sort these homegrown spots, you got problems in Champions League. And I've made a spreadsheet to just make it very easy to understand. If I can fucking find it. There seems to be quite the issue at the moment. There. Did I not save this? I might have not saved this. Oh, that's a massive stinker on my part. Anyhow, let's make a new one. Let's make a completely new one. So, Man City squad. So, you're allowed to have 25 players, technically. Not Champions League squads. But some spots are reserved for certain players. So, you've got 4 spots that are reserved to club-trained players. Club-trained only. This is reserved to any homegrown player. So club-trained means they're homegrown from your academy. Any homegrown just means any homegrown. And then you can put every other player you want on here. You can put any player you want on here. And now how this works here is, if you can't get 4 players on here, that's fine. You don't need to put 4 players on this list. But if you can't put 4 players on this list, it means that you can't get an extra foreign player or to put in that list. So if you get Trafford, club trained, there you go. You've already got Foden, you've already got Bob, and O'Reilly. Voila. If you don't like Rico Lewis, you no longer need Rico Lewis for your homegrown. You no longer need him. We have Ake. Or let's start with Bettinelli, actually. We have Bettinelli already in our team for homegrown. We've got Ake, but I'm not sure if I should include him because I think he might go. Let's throw him in. For now, let's throw him in. So McAtee is leaving. So is Grealish. I'd hope. Grealish might stay. I've got this weird feeling that he might stay, but I really do hope Grealish leaves. So, let's think here. Let's think. Let me quickly see. So yeah, Lewis, let's go. Stones, let's go. Ake, let's go. McAtee, let's go. Grealish, let's go. So then you've got... I mean, I guess if you get a right back, then you could put a homegrown right back on there. And now you've got enough of a squad. Because Pep Guardiola wants a 24-man squad. So it's okay to lack one homegrown player. Because Pep Guardiola wants a 24-man squad, right? So, okay, you just have no one here. No one. And now you can put your other players in here. All your foreign players. So when you're doing a clear out, that maybe Gusenov. I don't know who else, really. Ortega, maybe, if he stays. Grace. We can go through this, right? We can go through this. But now it's just a job of clearing out your foreign players. So if this happens, not only is homegrown sorted, I mean, I can go through this if you want, but that will be proper boring. Not only is homegrown sorted, you've got an upgrade in a goalkeeper, a young goalkeeper, and you save wages. Yeah, you probably save wages. I don't see why not. I really don't see why not. Plus he's a... I mean, he came from the Man City Academy, so I would imagine he's a Man City fan. You reckon he's a City fan, if he's coming from our academy? I mean, he may have a big preference for us, in it. Yeah, bro, I think this is an upgrade in every regard to EDERSON. Galatasaray, bro. Galatasaray. I need you guys. We need you. On our hands and our knees, Gala. We need you to come in here, take these players. Yeah? Gundogan, respect, but old. So he's old. Akanji, respect, but also old. Ederson, he was okay, but he's old now. He's had that great treble season, I know, but other than that, he was okay. Anyhow, besides the point, they have to go. It's not a rebuild if you keep holding on to everyone. People may argue, yeah, as well. This is an entirely different point, but I'll talk about it now. People may argue Ederson is still good enough. Bernardo Silva is still good enough. Or Gundogan is still good enough. Listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I agree or not. It's a rebuild. You don't rebuild by holding on to the old. When you rebuild, you've got to get rid of the old guard. That's how you do a rebuild. It doesn't matter if they're good enough. I don't agree when people say these players are still good enough. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because they're old. And when you're old, you're regressing. You're no longer improving. When you're doing a rebuild, you want to improve season after season. You want to get all the young players now. And in one season, have one transition season. Where you still go win a cup, by the way. Transition season means focus on the cups. Because you're not winning a league title when you're transitioning. You can have one transition season where you go heavily in for the cups, have a top 4 finish somewhere, and then you can be back on top. If you hold on to the old guard, sure, you can maybe, because that experience matters, maybe in the short term you can go win one league title. Maybe. But long term, you're now gonna spend 3 seasons getting in everything you need. I'll rebuild, all the old players have to go, all of them. You can't waste time. You can't waste time on these rebuilds. We've already wasted time in the last summer of 2024. Now we just gotta be ruthless. EDERSON, are you still good enough? Can you still do it? I don't know, I don't care. I want my new young goalkeeper who can also still do it. Plus he's improving, plus he's more interested, he's got more hunger, and all of that combined with he's also maybe a bit more usable by a new manager. When Pep leaves, new manager comes in. EDERSON has played Pep's football for what? 9 years now? And if he stays, it will be 10 years. Meanwhile, you get in that new goalkeeper. He's played 0 years of Pep ball. At most, he'll play 2 years under Pep's system before getting into a new system. He won't be as ingrained into Pep's system. So a new manager can more easily come in and take him. By the way, it's a young goalkeeper. Young goalkeepers are not easy to get. Young goalkeepers are very difficult to get. Look at Chelsea with Thibaut Courtois. They had to fight for Thibaut Courtois. Courtois was going to Atletico Madrid. Then he was going to go to another club. He didn't want to stay at Chelsea because he wasn't playing. And then they had to start him ahead of Petr Cech. And then he ended up being brilliant and they got lucky. But young goalkeepers, they want to play. Goalkeepers are the biggest moaners in football. They want to play. They don't want to play on loan. They want to play in the starting team. And getting a young goalkeeper, even if it's just to put them out on loan and play for the full season, that's difficult. Not a lot of clubs, big clubs, can get these young goalkeepers over the line. A young goalkeeper who's at your club for 5 years, before they even turn 30. And by the way, goalkeepers can play well into their 30s. Goalkeepers can comfortably play until they're 38, bar any injuries. Getting such a young goalkeeper, for such a that can stay for such a long time, assuming he's at the level. I'm not Epstein FC here. He has to be good enough. Assuming he's at the level, people tell me he is. Again, I've not watched him. That is worth its weight in gold. Goalkeepers are both the most and least important position in football. They are the most important in big games. In a big game, a goalkeeper wins you the game. A good goalkeeper will win you big games. Thibaut Courtois in the Champions League final. Thibaut Courtois against us in the semi-final of Champions League. People will say Benzema. Benzema scored a penalty. Rodrigo and Courtois did more work in that game. But yeah, a goalkeeper wins you big games. EDERSON in the Champions League final. That's his best performance as a goalkeeper. Not something he will replicate anymore because he's not that good anymore. And that was just his prime season. He'll never reach that level again. That's what a big goalkeeper does. That is what a consistent shot-stopping goalkeeper does. You can have that. Big games, you will win the big games. Meanwhile, in the smaller games, goalkeeper doesn't really affect how you play, do they? I mean, I know Pep uses goalkeepers in a specific way, but I'm gonna be honest. It don't matter that much. It really doesn't. It's maybe a 5% of how you play. And I don't think 5% should change much for Man City. So goalkeepers in that way are the least important in football. Over the league season, over the full season. So if he's not good enough now, but we're working up to that level, and he will be at that level soon, it's still better than EDERSON, who is not good enough now, who is being paid mad salaries, and who's leaving soon, by the way. He's leaving, no two ways about it. And who's getting worse. Like, this is better. Would I prefer Donnarumma? Obviously. I've watched Donnarumma. I've not watched Trafford. I don't mind. I really don't mind Ederson leaving for Trafford. I don't mind Ederson leaving for anyone. If I've seen them or not, I can't imagine anyone having as bad a season as Ederson had this year. I mean, his shot stopping was diabolical. To be fair, Andre Onana. Andre Onana is a bit special though, isn't he? I think most of us are better goalkeepers than Onana. Big up to Adam, by the way. Big up to Adam, a Brazilian fan. Adam, what do you think of Ederson? How good do you think is Ederson? Because when I say to Man City fans he's shit, people tell me, oh, you're toxic. So how good is Ederson? As a Brazilian, who's not a Premier League fan, or well, not a fan of any Premier League club. How good is he? I'll wait for your answer, while I bathe in the glory of this. There you go. He's been very shaky, that's a nice way of saying it. The shirt numbers of Man City, of these specific players, not of Man City, of Marcus Bettinelli, Ryan Aït-Nouri, Tijani Reinders, and Ryan Cherki have been removed from their Man City website profiles. I mean, this is a bit dead news, isn't it? So if you don't know, when the new signings came in, they were given kit numbers that were temporary. So Ryan Cherki, 29 for example, was a temporary number just for the Club World Cup. I'm assuming that they're still negotiating what numbers they want to wear. I mean, that's my best guess. I don't care that much about kit numbers. However, what I can say is Cherki getting the number 10. Cherki in that Man City number 10, bro. Jack Grealish. Thank you, Jack. Off to wherever the fuck you go. Cherki. Cherki with number 10. On a cold night. Black kit. Gloves on. I'm just saying, that's gonna hit different. Especially against Al Hilal, yeah. And I don't think Carlo will call him up for the national team. Really? Yeah, you don't even think he's gonna get called up. There you go. There you go. From a Brazilian. If Brazilians don't even think he's gonna get called up, he's not good enough. He really isn't. I think Trafford gets called up for England. Or I would imagine he gets called up for England. To be fair, England does a lot of weird stuff. But I would imagine Trafford gets called up and Dean Henderson gets called up. I imagine those two are the starting goalkeepers. They're both better than Pickford. I've just pissed off the Everton fans. So, Trafford, someone who will get called up. Ederson, not so sure about that, I guess. Not so sure about that. Anyhow, do I care about these kit numbers? Not really, to be honest. I mean, why do people care about this? I don't know. Like, I get it. It'll be really nice for Cherki get number 10. But let's be honest. If you have a random kit number, like 17, this is a perfect example. Number 17. That's such a fucking random number. 17. Who the fuck is number 17? Well, I think he wanted the number 8, but that was taken when he arrived. Or maybe he wanted the number 7, I don't know. Because that's what he plays in at Belgium. So maybe he wanted the number 7, but that was taken at the time. So De Bruyne comes in. Oh well, I'll take 17. He never changed. Because he wasn't bothered. Because he didn't care. And now number 17 is synonymous with De Bruyne. So should all our players get the number 10? Should Cherki get the number 10? Or should he stay with number 29? Should he make that number 29 what KDB made the number 17? Should he make that his number? Because people are like, oh yeah, I really want Cherki to have the number 10. I see people saying Foden, number 10. Foden is keeping 47. If you don't know why, I mean, I don't know what to tell you if you don't know why. It's talked about so often. It's because of his grandfather. So he's keeping the number 47, right? So for anyone who wants him to take number 10, not happening. I'll see people saying, Rangers, I'm happy with number 4. But again, does it matter? Does it matter what gets number they wear? Because no matter what gets number they wear, if they play good enough, gets number they wear will become iconic to them. Even if they wear the most random gets number. If one of them wears 69, that 69 will become synonymous with them if they're good enough. So I don't care about get numbers. You can look at it that way, isn't it? Even though we qualified for the World Cup, we'll see what he does if he does get a chance in those 2 games against Chile and Bolivia, even though Chile are finished, sadly. Yeah, that golden generation went, isn't it? To be fair, Chile has a smaller population than Belgium, doesn't it? Chile population. Oh no, they've got a bigger population. Nearly 20 million. But still, that's a very small population, isn't it? Competing at the top level of football for quite a while. Anyhow, at this point, I am waffling. So, I'd kindly ask you guys, if you're still in here, to like, subscribe, all of the basics. I don't know, follow me on Twitter, I guess, if you care. I don't really care. EDERSON, leaving. Liberation, guys. Liberation. I will take this money in a heartbeat. With link to goalkeepers. With link to goalkeepers to buy. By Fabrizio, by the way, the top guy. Official bid has been submitted. I will take it. 3 million. 3 million. It's a pure win on PSR. Because EDERSON has been completely paid off for years now. It's a pure win. Tactical, guys, tactical. It's been completely paid off. For at least 3 years, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I take it. I take it. Trafford, I don't know what you're made of, but I'm just happy to get a real goalkeeper soon. I'll leave it there. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm redirecting, by the way. Alfred, so I'm gonna redirect to Zed, big up to him. Chile no longer what they used to be. It is what it is. Alfred, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.